Hi, good morning, and welcome to Mac TV. Welcome to Yorker. Yorker, your new cricket show on Mac TV, and it's a show that I'm sure you won't want to miss. You definitely don't want a Yorker hitting you. It could be a very painful thing. But I'm joined here by the chairman of Mac TV. Also, he wears a number of caps. He has on none today, but he wears a number of caps. He's a chairman of Mac TV. He's also the chairman, president of Cricket Council USA, and also a very avid cricket fan, and a man who played at a pretty good level during his day, Mohammed Ahmed Qureshi. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Vinod. How are you?
Good, good. I know you have been enjoying yourself recently. My information is that you hardly got any sleep because when cricket is in town, you are very excited indeed.
That's true. They're the biggest game, first time in playing India, in US and West Indies. The huge crowds here. If you see that yesterday, the game was 490 runs, almost 500 runs between two teams, and the stadium was full. I have the dreams to come true. So the stadium need to be have better and fill out, for the cricket. And I see the lovely cricket yesterday.
And how would you describe that game? You know, the West Indies, of course, the world champions coming up against India. I don't know who you were supporting. I'm getting the impression that you did support the West Indies, Mark. But they did win by 1 run, the world champions, and I'm sure it was really a great advertisement for cricket in the United States.
Yeah, I did. I support cricket as a cricket fan.
So you left that one outside the off stump?
Yeah, as a cricket fan, I just support cricket. But I seen good cricket yesterday, and the stadium on the pack, and I will support India and West Indies to come over here to bring it. And I seen the both president yesterday. Mm-hmm. They came in. I welcome to them, and then come and say welcome to be in Florida and supporting our Broward County Cricket Stadium. But I'm not one of the side. I was the cricket side. So I want to see the lovely cricket in the stadium. And that's all seen. So not the West Indies. I'm fan for the cricket. The best cricket I've seen.
It was really a wonderful spectacle yesterday to show up to the ground. It had a real Caribbean atmosphere to it. You showed up at the ground, people were, they were chanting, they were really enjoying themselves. We did have wonderful weather though. A slight drizzle now and then, but for cricket, that was really wonderful weather. And for us, the West Indies, just to recap a bit, the West Indies losing the toss, being asked to bat by India. They got off to a rollicking start and recorded 245, their highest ever T20 score, 245 for 6 in their 20 overs. Leading the way, the man from Tableland in South Trinidad, Evan Lewis, he got an even 100. Also supporting well is a man from Castries in St. Lucia, and that was Johnson Charles, who also clubbed 5 sixes and 6 fours in getting 79. The West Indies again 245 for 6 in 20 overs, and everyone on the ground probably thought that order was a bit too tall for India, especially given the fact that Virat Kohli was dismissed very early, and of course opening batsman Ajinkya Rahane, two of the top men in the Indian lineup. But no one really thought of KL Rahul. The man showed up and got his maiden T20 century. He ended up on 110 not out. Rohit Sharma got 62, and of course Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he made 43. But going into the last over with 8 runs required, the West Indies could not have had a better man to turn to than Dwayne Bravo. He normally bowls at the death. He's very experienced in this format. Of course, one of the better T20 players in the world. And the very first delivery, a slower delivery, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, looking to get under it and play it over a point, did spoon it right to Marlon Samuels. This is a catch that anyone could have taken. Mark would have taken that in his sleep. Marlon Samuels put it down. And it went down to the last ball with 2 runs required for victory. Everyone thought the game was over. I was in the press box. I was doing a report for Mac TV's website, and I had already written that the world champions were dethroned yesterday. But Dwayne Bravo had other ideas. The captain, Carlos Brathwaite, in discussion with him, they were trying to tell him you can't go for the slow ball last delivery. Bravo knew best. He went for the slow ball, and lo and behold, there was a repeat of what had happened on the first delivery. The only difference this time, Marlon Samuels was able to take the catch. The West Indies running away winners. India 244 for 4. The West Indies winning. But it's all excitement here today in the United States because it's Sunday and it's a day when people normally will go out and look for activities. My good friend Mark, his activity is cricket. He loves cricket, so he's in his glee. And at 10 a.m., everyone will be at Broward again, hoping for a repeat of yesterday. Let's get the thoughts of Mark on what he thinks could transpire today. Mark, what's your prediction for today?
Today is, the India have to must win to balance equal to threes. That's like 2 T20, and actually India was playing best yesterday, but all the contribution with the batsmen they had, pretty much everyone have done very good batting, but the last over make a huge difference. I couldn't believe it when I saw this thing up that they need only 1 run, make it just touch and run. But that was the last over. That's great scene, and then they create the racket. And the world racket, they had at West Indies the high score, and the high score chasing thereafter almost is there. And 1 run behind.
And another record was that the 489 runs yesterday that was scored was the most ever scored in a T20 game. And all this happened in the United States. All this happened in Mark's backyard. And I'm sure he's very happy about that.
Yes, when I was talking to both president for BCCI and West Indies, and they surprises, and the wicket was playing very good, and they thought in America does not have that kind of cricket, and seeing all the fan was so happy to see that, and runs and actually there was sixes they going through, and first West Indies made 245 run was the racket runs from the West Indies board, and all West Indies board is cheering, wow, what a good inning they had it. But the turnaround where India came back, there was lots. And then today we was looking at it, best cricket, same way at least. But the challenge for the India for today have to play more out performance to come back to win this game.
Of course, as we continue to look at today's game, we are just a mere 2 hours and 10 minutes before it gets on the way. We'll continue to talk about the different aspects of having cricket here in the United States. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Yorker. Yorker is a very dangerous delivery. That's a delivery that if it jams down on your toe, you may see a specialist, and it could be very, very painful. And we have started in that mode here this morning because this is a hard-hitting show. This is a show where you're going to hear all the stuff about cricket. You're going to hear all the facts. We're not going to mince words, Mark. We're going to talk straight about cricket. What I want to say, though, is congratulations to the organizers up here, because for that number of people going into the ground, yesterday when I left to go to the ground, there was absolutely no traffic. And everyone went into the ground very smoothly. They were seated. And at the end of the day's play, the officials somehow came up with an idea where I believe they opened up the space a bit. You had people exiting close to the swap shop, and also close to where McDonald's is on this side of the road. It shows that they're ready here for cricket. You all seem to understand the logistics of hosting an event.
Yeah, but the stadium have capacity for exit and in and out, and they made it as a professional cricket stadium, but it's never been play a big huge game. But we have experience yesterday, as you've seen, and a few things like in the morning, the rush hours, and the traffic was jammed because the 8 o'clock the gates open for stadium, 10 o'clock game. So I talk about it with the Dan West, the park manager, the French Duncan, and I told them next time we give them 3 hours, 1 hour extra to come in. So organized people, they can come in, with management people, they can come in earlier enough, and then also the not enough traffic and open there. So they've been notice that thing up. Early traffic is too much. But overall, if you look at it, we have well organized at the fields, well organized management we have done, and Siddharth is from India management and BCCI board, and he worked for day night, and there is the groundsman working day night for this organizations, and we support them. Cricket Council support with them to make sure this tournament comes along successful, so people can recognize this stadium to worldwide. And there is the open world. They was watching India and West Indies game, and we want to give them good presentation. Time was only week before we start this thing up, put things together, and 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, we find out there was India coming to play on this T20 games and trying to arrange all this thing up. If you side screen, you see the two side screen, and they lit up. This is the first time in US backlights all the stadium. If you look, even the daytime, but look awesome. It's beautiful. People can realize, and then the mountain, they put the bleachers there. So we have did whatever we can to occupy it and give them comfortable to the customer, to fan of the cricket, to come and watch the game and recognize this ground, which is, we do have professional stadium, which is ICC approved and professionally fit. Capacity was 18,000, but it shrink down because the fire departments and all other things requirement they had it, because that much people's coming in.
So what was it, the total yesterday?
There was 12,000, 11,800, and the all is full. And there is, the expectation was rain yesterday, and that's what a lot of people think there was a hurricane and rains, but the wonderful weather.
But it
for
did
the
rain.
cricket.
It did rain. It rained sixes.
Yeah, but there was drilling a little bit. It's not rain, but the rain was night before, and there was very heavy rain. So the grounds have good drainage system, which is drain out. Like yesterday, there after the game, there is the rain. Last night is rain until 2 in the morning, and the grounds probably dry out today also.
But it did rain sixes. It rained sixes all into the crowd. One man struck 9.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, but today, looking ahead to today, you said that at 2 a.m. you had a rain last night. What were you doing awake at 2 a.m., Mark? You should be sleeping, man.
I have basically, after we left the ground, we was left in the there, and then we have entertainment to also the BCCI board members and all, make sure they're happy, and then other, both the groups they had at management. So we was doing the meetings and figuring out there is anything we can do more, which is we missing out. But they're saying this is wonderful. Every comments came in, and there is the we took them the dinners. We have the players have the dinners, and then we want to make sure they have a lot of entertainment places to hear, to go visit, and during the tournaments and after the tournament. So that's why we've been discussing it.
Well, when you look at it, Mark has made himself available. He has been very hospitable indeed to the West Indies Cricket Board and the BCCI, of course, the Board of Control for Cricket in India, one of the most powerful boards in the world. And yesterday you were with both presidents, Dave Cameron and Anurag Thakur, at the VIP section. And obviously, you must have been very proud indeed to know that here it was, that international cricket was in your backyard. You had the two presidents of the two boards there. What were their thoughts on it? What did they tell you in terms of what they were seeing outside there?
Basically, West Indies president is always here, Cameron, here, and that's the first time for Indian president and BCCI they here, and they don't inspect probably that's beautiful stadium we had in backyard in USA. So basically, they will gonna come back, and there's another series gonna come in for next whenever visiting and touring this West Indies series. They stop by, play a few games in Broward County. So we don't know the exact scheduling, but first of all, I give them thanks and welcome to both board members and the president. And also, I talked to them anything we can do, more things to bring them up. There was wonderful surprise, and they're pleased to be here. And they said there was all of the board member, the rush to put things together, and they did very well. And he came in, arrived the president on day night before, and late night, and he was in the morning, and there was everything set up like the way professionally have done by Broward County and all the staff. And I thanks for all the board staff to did the day night work to put things together. But they was very happy, both of them. They were very happy to see that cricket is, and then also They turned out a wonderful game, the first game, and has been played. India never been played here. International cricket, this is the first time they've been played, and they are surprised. And there's a lot of them. India have a lot of board members. They was there yesterday.
Yes, I know a number of them. Actually, 50 officials from India came in for the game. Every executive member of the West Indies Cricket Board was also invited for the game. I think there was just one who did not show. He had a death in his family, and that's Azim Basarat. We want to extend on behalf of Mac TV and the program Yorker, we want to extend to him all our condolences and wish him all the best. But it was a great spectacle. It was wonderful yesterday, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get a little more into the game and what really transpired yesterday at the Central Borough Regional Park. Well, welcome back to York. I'm sure that you're very happy to see cricket like this, cricket discussed like this on Mac TV. Mac TV, one of the top television stations in terms of cricket. And we're here, and I'd like to introduce you now to a very dear friend of mine, of course, Mac and him. They have been buddies for a very, very long time. Mac said too long. McCarthy believes that's the situation as well. I just hope that they don't end in a divorce. But two very good men, two pillars in terms of getting cricket into the United States. And of course, Mohammed McCarthy, I'd like to welcome you to the Yorker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Mark started off. Mark opened the bowling. And I will tell you, Mark opened the bowling in very devastating form this morning. And I'm sure that he would like you to continue in that vein. You were at the cricket yesterday, and I'm sure you did see a world record performance in many ways. The West Indies' highest T20 score. You also saw the highest aggregate in a T20 game as well.
Right.
And it was really a tremendous effort on both teams to advertise cricket. Do you think it was an appropriate advertisement for cricket yesterday?
It could have not gotten any better than this.
Of course, the West Indies won.
Yes, won. And obviously, either way, it was a very good game, and both teams have played outstanding cricket. And it was unbelievable when we saw 249, 240 plus, and then saw Indian team almost chasing, and lost the game at the last ball of the game. So it was an amazing game and a perfect launch for T20 in US. So it couldn't have gotten any better than this.
Wonderful. And going into the last over, did you think that the West Indies could pull it off? Or were you one of those like me who already started to write my report that the world champions would be true?
Well, in the beginning, 8 runs, they needed almost, I think, 7 or 8 runs, and it was obvious that the Indians could get it. But then when we had a couple of dot balls, and then it's almost tense when you have these kind of games, and there's a lot of nerves, required to manage this kind of situation. And I guess West Indian bowlers have actually come up on top.
And it was a situation where pressure makes you do things that you won't normally do. In the Caribbean, we say pressure does burst pipe. And I think that is what happened yesterday. And you were seeing, a diversion of views. You were seeing people react differently, and people coming from different cultures. Of course, the Indians in the stand, going into the last ball, they were biting their nails, some were praying. And then you had the guy in the West Indies who was sitting below a coconut tree saying, "We're going to win, man. We're going to win." And that is exactly what happened. But Mark, yesterday, the entire spectacle, it was wonderful. Wonderful indeed. It must give you confidence because you hold a very senior position in cricket in this country. I'm going to make that bold statement. He holds a senior position in cricket in this country because the entire world knows that cricket in the United States is under some problems because of all the fractions. Sometimes you think that every 7-Eleven you see, that man wants to run cricket in this country. What he has done, together with his great friend Amin, they have been able to galvanize support and to bring some sort of stability. Do you think what you saw yesterday in terms of the crowd coming in, everything running smoothly, that you're going to build this game, you're going to build it even bigger and better in the United States?
Yeah, definitely, because if you look at it, the marketing in US cricket is not that strong, and they give him big boost yesterday. the people come in and then seeing the cricket is playing is actually in the world they haven't seen the stadium the way it is. Like we had it games in West Indies and Sri Lanka is not that strong games. This one is telecasting rights and restrictions they had it, and then boost them up a lot of Indian fans, and they bring back. So now we had it yesterday. One of the daycare principal is Indian, and he said, "Wow, I never expected that cricket is that big here, and I want to bring my children to be an academy." So they're giving a boost here. That's game yesterday really bright the future for U.S. cricket.
And of course, your thoughts on the fact that you have now gotten a stimulus to take the game forward. Are you going to take it at Cricket Council USA and run with it?
Well, yeah. First of all, I want to give credit to BCCI within 3.5 weeks at short notice, and West Indies board to plan an event like this, with that magnitude, and actually implement the plan. It was also it was perfectly implemented, and I think it's such a short notice, 3.5 weeks or less, I believe, and coming out of a series in West Indies, that they have done a phenomenal job to manage this whole event. Obviously, crowd was there. It was like Max said, that sponsors, and it all makes up. It's complete the recipe basically for a good event. So I'm hoping we can continue this. I'm hoping ICC continues, to bring international teams here, so we have this awareness, and especially our sponsors and the corporate sponsors realize that cricket is and can be a bigger game in US.
But you're a businessman, of course, Mark himself being a businessman, and you always hear this talk. Wherever I travel across this world to cover cricket, you always hear this talk that cricket needs to catch on in the United States because of the financial possibilities involved. USA being the biggest market.
Yes.
And do you think that people here would invest in cricket?
I think they would, because when soccer came here, soccer is, where cricket is where soccer was 25 years ago. But I think cricket will catch up faster if ICC and member boards get involved directly. And yes, it's American fans and American players. It will take a little bit of time to develop the market, but I think the market is here now, and people are excited. And I think ICC should, and we will also support any event and effort to promote cricket in the US.
I'll tell you something though. Now is the best time.
Exactly.
Because what you saw yesterday, I think it would have gotten a number of people very excited. And the way the guys played the game, I'll tell you something. At one point in time, there were a lot of home runs. It looked like a baseball match.
Yeah.
It was raining. As I told Mark yesterday, the only thing rain was sixes.
Sixes, yeah.
Into the crowd. Mark, the next big thing, because what happens this weekend, and what is going to transpire in about an hour and 45 minutes, is that you're going to see a second game that's going to further whet the appetite of the US cricket fan, the fan around the world who will be looking into what's happening here. Now, when all is done and dusted, BCCI, WICB and the players leave on Monday or Tuesday, the people here will be left wondering what's next. Well, the next great thing is the US Open. And Mark, obviously looking towards the US Open now, it puts you under some pressure because people will want that sort of delivery. I know that you and Cricket Council USA, you are very capable of producing, you have been delivering,
Yeah.
but I think they'll want it a further notch. So I guess the next few months, you can come in.
Yeah. I think we're ready. Obviously, we're ready. We've been doing it for 8 years, and cricket we've been doing for more than 8 years. But since ICC have seen our efforts in the past, they have sanctioned this event. So it's officially ICC sanctioned tournament. It allows us to bring more international players and allows the players to come in and play. So I think it is we're much more ready than we ever were. Our teams, our formats is there, our operation team is all ready, and I think this tournament is going to be far superior than any other tournament we have.
Well, it has to be.
Yes.
It has to be
Yes.
on the back of what's happening
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
And you all will be looking to build on that.
Right.
And it's a prime time to take your tournament and run away with it. I know that they tell me in these parts that you deal with cricket administration and cricket related activities be it taking care of cricket officials, journalists like myself, and everyone who's involved in cricket for 22 hours of the day, and the other 2 hours you sleep and you dream about cricket.
Yeah.
What is your life going to be like for the next few months leading up to US Open?
No, we do have good management peoples. Usually I get in and the day of cricket when the tournament's coming close, and I more actively work, and I was there basically where management teams is very, very good. They've been doing so long, number one. Well experienced people like Sufyan, VP Operation. We have the tournament starting on September 2nd, 3rd and 4th in Chicago. From here, we operating from there is we used to it. Small. This is just for one of the scale for us. It's not big tournament. Even we can have multi games, not in different state also. The next time the event we can move around. Say India come here to play to Chicago to another state, but I have good management system. And we see in something this tournament, which is India and West Indies, we can bring it more efficiently what the requirement is, and it's our backyard number one. We have hundreds of supporters and voluntary and all, so will be successful tournament for the US Open, me hoping, and this is my time is there always with the cricket, and of course I have the businesses, but primary we have been involved on the cricket since 1999, and now is the times come in, support by ICC, support by international fans and local fans. They want to see the more cricket and better cricket, and we will gonna deliver this November 24th to 27th and Thanksgiving weekend, and we choose the Thanksgiving weekend so a lot of parents can be involved, a lot of kids can be involved for holidays reason, so they can come and watch this US Open.
Well, that's thinking ahead, and that is very fine indeed. I did have a short discussion with the president of the West Indies Cricket Board after you all met, and he was telling me that he thinks that you have a great future, both of you, in terms of pushing cricket here in the United States. I think the West Indies Cricket Board have already given you their blessings,
Yes.
and I think they'll be working towards you. He was continuously mentioning to me Pakistan and those fellows will be involved with Pakistan. Now, I'm not letting the cat out of the bag, but Pakistan will be in these parts in the West Indies next year. And from what I'm hearing from the president of the West Indies Cricket Board, I think he may want to acquire the services of Cricket Council USA in helping to bring that team.
Yeah, I think right now, what I'm hearing, BCCI is going to be here again next year with West Indies. So I
As
think
well as
it'll be
Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh, so I think it's a perfect time to do a try series, you know. And also, obviously, if India plays Pakistan, that's an ultimate cricket, and then you can imagine the viewership and all that. So I'm hoping that next year or so we have some of those games here, because that's going to really galvanize U.S. cricket and the support it needs.
Great. But what we're going to do is just take a short break now, and when we come back, before we wrap, I'm going to ask these guys some personal questions about cricket,
Oh my God.
so you, the viewers, can get closer to them and could really understand what's going on in their heads. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Yorker, of course, with me, Mohammed Ahmed Qureshi, Mohammed Amin Makatia. And these guys, they're wonderful guys. They're men who have given really so much to cricket. And we have spoken a lot about international cricket, what people from all over the world are seeing, whether they're going to come in. We saw what happened at the stadium yesterday. A number of people would have flown in from around the United States, and especially Chicago. I met a lot of people, a lot of
Yes.
Indians from Chicago
Yes. Well,
as
every part
well.
of the country, every part of the country. they-
Atlanta.
Right, so they came.
Yeah.
But then there are locals, and these guys, they want to take care of their people first.
Yeah.
And I think your way, your opportunity to do that is through the US Open.
Well, the purpose of U.S. Open was to have U.S. cricket built grassroots out, and we're doing it. We have academies in the country. We have regional tournaments. Almost every major city we have a tournament once a year. So we prep a lot of young players and motivate them to play at the national level. And I'm sure when ICC came in, when they did their selection process, they found a lot of those players, and I'm glad those kids have the opportunity now to play for ICC regional teams or national teams. But our U.S. Open is a U.S. tournament. It is for U.S. It is for U.S. Fan, and it's U.S. players. yes, we do need international, players to spice up and have, this is internationally recognized. So our goal and always been to cater local fans. So I want to make sure our fan in South Florida know that this tournament is going to be for them to watch. It's going to have quite a few international players, and we're talking to a lot of local media right now that we're going to give out tickets, complimentary tickets to real fans. So just watch out for those ads and watch out for those radio, television campaigns to see the ticket. But please show up. Please show up at the game. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be good cricket. Every international team, every team would have I'm not sure how many teams you're going to wind up having because we have a lot of applications, but every team will have at least 4, 5, 6 international players. So you're going to have a high quality game, and you're going to see a lot of young talent be a part of the tournament too. So please be there, on Thanksgiving weekend.
Wonderful. And as we head to US Open, you will be seeing a lot more of this show called The Yorker, and we will be giving you information as we move forward. I did promise though that I was going to ask these guys some personal questions about cricket, and well, let's go. And let's start with Mark. Mark, you would have played earlier on in the program. I mentioned that you would have played cricket at an international, not a very high level indeed. Who are some of the international players in your youth growing up in Pakistan that you would have played with?
I play with Azim Hafiz, which is in my schoolmates, and we have done basically when I was in Pakistan, I selected under 19, and Zahir Abbas who's the currently honorary president for the ICC,
yeah.
And he's the one who selected and to me as selections, and I came back from in a country, came in US, and I was only 17 years old. So I haven't played, but I have played with Asif Mushtaba. You see in the back now. He's played in the junior in my high school, and I play with the guys is not the Shoaib Akhtar. That time is our favorite when in the college, but I did see him then on net. I practices and Shoaib Mohammed, and also, but in the college level when we was in Karachi, that's not a huge cricketers hubs for the cricketer, but not too many people came from Karachi, our town. Most is from Lahore and other states, and we've been played from Mansoor Akhtar one times we had played. So I have been around, and that time young age, but not been playing. We watched them and said, yeah.
What were you a specialist batsman, a specialist bowler, and if a bowler, what type of bowler?
I was the medium pace bowler. And
yeah, they did tell me that they told me that you ran in faster than you bowled.
Yeah, medium pace bowler. I would do the opening on for all the colleges and the schools I have done, and here also I play as an opener batsman, and I do the first change bowling. I do my favorite ball is Yorker, so that's why I started. I do a lot of good bowling,
and that is why this program is called Yorker, and I'm going to ensure that he's always here to be involved with the Yorker. And just to move across to what level you played the game?
No, I haven't played the higher level. I'm very fanatic about cricket.
So you love cricket, but cricket
never
did
loved
not
me.
return the
Never
favor.
loved me. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it diplomatically.
Yeah, no, it's alright. Cricket at least doesn't talk back, so I'm okay with that. So I'm very passionate about cricket, and I played the local league, city level. We had teams, and I was captaining over.
But which player on the international scene growing up would have captured your imagination?
Well, since I came in very early on here, when I was young, Javed Miada is my favorite. I think he's one of the awesome players. And then I think Wasim Akram is good, Kumar Sangakkara, and I think when Sachin bats, I think that's awesome. He's very talented, and obviously he's shown it. And there are quite a few, but
obviously you've never seen West Indies cricket.
No, I've seen.
You must have seen Brian Lara.
Yeah, Brian Lara, and also even the boss. The cricket boss. He's when he's in the field. That's awesome. He can change the game in in 1 second basically. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. But I was getting there, but I guess you're too fast for me.
Well, Mark, you're some of your favorite players. Just before we
My favorite place was Javed Miadan
Mm-hmm.
and Azuruddin also, and Richard Richardson. So we have done the tournament MAC T20 in 2008.
I've noticed you've brought all those guys here.
Yeah, I did MAC T20, and I have not played international cricket, which is I was the one of the best all rounder. I came in young age in US, so the chance is 2008. I bring all the teams and I play with them. For 2008, Javed Miadad brought the teams in, and Richard Richardson and Azuruddin. So we are wonderful. I actually took the 3 wickets in the games on 2008 internationally. There was
Well,
MAC T20.
congratulations.
And what was not my wicket, so better wickets, not my wicket.
I like that. I like that.
I was just add something. In the late 70s, the West Indian bowling squad has never been duplicated, even by West Indies. They that 4 or 5,
Yeah,
Joe
well,
Gardner,
it was more
Michael
like 4
Holding.
or 5. There were a number of them.
Yeah, I know, but
lining
they're
up.
like that was a
You had Holden,
very destructive
Croft,
squad.
Marshall,
Marshall,
Roberts, Garner,
yeah.
Sylvester Clark, Wayne
Viv
Daniel.
Richard.
With the batting side, what I'm saying, the bowling squad was like
Nobody wanted to
Nobody-
play against them.
Yeah.
I think at the point in time, though, to be fair, having spoken to Viv Richards and some of the other guys, the only team that really never fed the West Indies back at that time, people think it's Australia. It's not Australia. They told me it was Pakistan.
Well, Pakistan is
Pakistan was willing to
even
fight
now.
them.
Even now, they're unpredictable. They could go out against the toughest
But
team.
they were
and-
never
yeah.
scared of the West
Yeah.
Indies, and this is what they told me. Viv Richards mentioned to me that he played his most difficult innings ever was 120 in a place called Multan in
Yeah,
Pakistan.
Multan, yeah.
He said that the ball was jumping and hitting him all over the place.
Right.
But that's just some of the side talk, and that is what you're going to get at Yorker. You continue to look at this program, and this is what you're going to hear. You're going to hear from the guys, and these guys will be involved in the Yorker as well. You're going to hear little background stories, things that you would not know and normally. And if you stick around, I promise you that in the months to come, you're going to hear a story about the West Indies team and the Pakistan team on a flight leaving Karachi and heading to Lahore. I'm not going to tell you anything further, but stick around. So thanks for joining us. I want to thank Mark. I also want to thank Amin for being on the Yorker today, and I hope that we did provide some sort of entertainment. Goodbye.